Welcome to our lesson on editing dialogue. I can edit my writing by punctuating and paragraphing speech. We have learned that we are authors. We learned many ways to raise the level of our writing using narrative techniques. Today, we will move into the editing process. We will use our narrative checklist and focus specifically on punctuating and paragraphing speech. How will your learning be assessed today? We will be assessed based on the teaching point. I can edit my writing by punctuating and paragraphing speech. You should be able to edit your writing by the end of this lesson, and your dialogue will have correct punctuation and paragraphing. How does this fit with our narrative checklist? It fits in two areas. Organization. If we look at the 5th grade expectation, I used paragraphs to separate different parts or time of the story and to show when a new character was speaking. Some parts of the story were longer and more developed than others. And in punctuation, I used commas to set off introductory parts of sentences such as one day at the park, I went on the slide. I also used commas to show talking directly to someone, such as, are you mad, Mom? So we are going to be focusing on editing our dialogue, and it fits in with both organization and punctuation. So we're going to do this by rereading your writing, start a new paragraph for each new speaker, put quotation marks around what is being said, and use commas to separate the dialogue and the tags. Let's take a look at our first step, new paragraphs for each new speaker. Here's an example. Are we going to the mall? She asked her mother. She looked up with a hopeful smile. Yes, let's go, her mother replied, grabbing her coat and purse. Now notice, every time a new person spoke, they got a new paragraph. So we began by indenting to show this new paragraph right here. Are we going to the mall? She asked her mother. She looked up with a hopeful smile. So the girl is done speaking. Now her mother talks. Yes, let's go, her mother replied, grabbing her coat and purse. And notice there's a new indentation showing a new paragraph for her mother speaking. So it's really important that you notice that we paragraph every time a new person speaks inside of a story. That means that you can have multiple paragraphs in a short amount of space. You also put quotes around what is being said. For example, let's have a party has quotes around it. You would put quotes before to show the beginning of the words being said, and quotes after to show where the words are finished being said. Lastly, you put commas to separate the dialogue and the tags. Probably, she said, although I don't know where to start, becomes probably with a comma right after the word probably and before the end quotation, she said. And then here's her next sentence. Although I don't know where to start. Let's look at this one. He began. She promises you that she is the best candidate. Now let's look at it revised. He began. She promises you that she is the best candidate. Notice there is a comma before the quotation mark. And so that's something you can understand is that commas always come before the quotation mark, whether the dialogue tag comes before the speech or the dialogue tag comes after the speech. Let's look at another example. The zoo is by the mountains, she said. And notice the dialogue tag, she said, is after the speech. So in this part, there is a comma after the word mountain and before the quotation mark. Now you try. Each of you have a copy of some dialogue that you need to rewrite. Don't forget to reread your writing, start a new paragraph for each new speaker, put quotation marks around what's being said, use commas to separate the dialogue and the tags. So what I would like you to do is copy this into your writer's notebook. And I want you to edit this particular paragraph using our steps. Start a new paragraph for each new speaker, put quotations around what is being said, use commas to separate the dialogue and the tags. Pause the video while you do so.